Hi, my name is Sarah, and I work for the Swanee River Regional Library System. Today we're going to be discussing The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein, our book club title for the month of August. We're going to begin by asking some questions and hearing what the author has to say about his book. Where did the idea for the book come from? The first seed for this book was planted in my mind about 10 years ago. I was no longer working in documentary films, but a friend asked me to consult on the U.S. distribution of a film he knew about from Mongolia called State of Dogs. I took a look at the film and the press material they had on it. I didn't end up getting involved with the film, but the idea really stuck with me. In Mongolia, there's a belief that the next incarnation for a dog is a man. I thought this was a cool concept, and I tucked it away thinking I might someday do something with it. Then in 2004, I saw Billy Collins speak at Seattle Arts and Lectures. He's a great poet and a terrific reader. He read a poem, The Revenant, which is told from the point of view of a recently euthanized dog as he addresses his former master from heaven. The poem begins, "I am the dog you put to sleep. Come back to tell you one simple thing. I never liked you, not one bit." I loved this poem. When Billy Collins finished reading, I knew I had to write a story from the point of view of a dog. And my dog would know the truth, that in his next incarnation, he would return to Earth as a man. So I had the character and the goal, but I still needed the framework of a story. A close friend of mine, who is a semi-professional race car driver, but who supplements his racing by working behind the counter at an upscale automotive repair shop, was going through some personal difficulties. His plight wasn't Denny's, but it gave me some ideas about what happens to families when one member suddenly passes away. I developed a story that would really put my main character, Denny, through his paces, and then it was all there for me. Question 2. What inspired you to tell the story from a dog's point of view? Using a dog as a narrator has limitations and it has advantages. The limitations are that a dog cannot speak. A dog has no thumbs. A dog can't communicate his thoughts except with gestures. Dogs are not allowed in certain places. The advantages are that a dog has special access. People will say things in front of dogs because it is assumed that a dog doesn't understand. Dogs are allowed to witness certain things because they aren't people and have no judgment. I was able to work with this idea a lot in terms of giving the reader a unique viewpoint into the action of the book. Enzo goes off with Zoe, and while Denny, her father, doesn't know what happens, we see through Enzo's eyes, and so we do know. In that sense, it was a lot of fun playing with this fly-on-the-wall point of view, especially since the fly in this case is Enzo, who has very keen powers of observation. I'm now going to read a little bit of a summary of the book, The Art of Racing in the Rain, so you guys can get a better idea of what this book is about, and if it strikes your interest, you can definitely come check it out from our library. Enzo, an elderly dog, is sprawled on the kitchen floor of his owner Denny's apartment in a puddle of his own urine. He tells the reader that he's staging this display so that Denny, who has been through so much in the last few years, will see that it's time for Enzo to go. When Denny gets home, he gives Enzo a bath, cleans up the mess, and calls Mike, his friend and coworker, and asks him to cover for him the next day so he can take Enzo to the vet. He says he's not sure it's a round-trip visit, and despite having set it up, Enzo is surprised. He reaffirms, though, that it's for the best, and now Denny can be free. Enzo loves racing and sprinkles racing strategy, wisdom, and stories throughout the novel. His favorite driver is Ayrton Senna, a charismatic driver who drove exceptionally well in the rain, just like Denny does. The events surrounding his death remain a mystery. Enzo goes back in time to explain the 10 years of events leading up to his display. Denny, a professional race car driver, adopted him as a puppy and moved him to Seattle. For the first year, it was just Denny and Enzo. But then Denny met Eve and quickly fell in love with her. Enzo tried to love her, but resented her for coming between himself and Denny. Denny and Eve were married within the year, and Eve soon became pregnant. When the baby was born, Denny was across the country competing. After the birth, Eve asked Enzo to protect her daughter, whom they named Zoe. Denny returned the next day and shares that another driver on his team crashed their car and he never even got to drive. The next several months passed quickly and happily until Eve and Denny went back to work and Zoe was put in daycare. Enzo was left home alone. He was bored and lonely until one day Denny left the TV on by accident, and Enzo spent the entire day watching. From that time on, Denny leaves the TV on for Enzo during the day, and Enzo's education truly begins. Enzo believes himself to have a very human soul and uses television to learn how to be more human. After seeing a documentary on Mongolia, he learns that dogs are reincarnated as men when they die, and this becomes his goal. He spends the rest of his life trying to be as human as possible to prepare for his next life as a human. From this point on, the author continues to tell us of the life and events that happen with Enzo, Denny, Zoe, and Eve. It's a very exciting novel, and there are so many twists and turns, and I think you would really enjoy it. If you would like to check it out, feel free to give us a call here at the library to put this book on hold, or you can make an appointment to come inside and check it out as well. Our book club book for the month of September is going to be Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, like this video, follow our Facebook page, and be on the lookout for future videos from the Swanee River Regional Library.